All right, all right. Yeah, I think I'm live. I think I'm live. I think y'all can hear me good, but let me just make sure. It's windy outside. I'm not trying to do this for long. What else? My battery is dying, and it's just it is what it is. But at the same time, I wanna do this because every time I'm trying to go, I had a script, but for some reason I misplaced the script. So I'm just going off the top of the dome, trying to remember what I said in the past. And if not, then this is how it's going to be. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is I've been trying to pass on the message of, well, I mean, I've been trying to speak and say whatever I have to say. But the way I'm looking at it, like, I have to start from page one. As long as the page one is not correctly connecting with the people that I'm trying to connect with or whoever is paying attention, I can't go past page one because page one for me is where the sauce is. The sauce that I'm trying to bring forth starts with page one. So as long as YouTube or the stream app that I'm using, the streaming app that I'm using, or whatever it is that's stopping people from hearing exactly what is it that I'm trying to connect, and transfer, share, all these things that I'm trying to do. The volume is going up and down. You can't really tell what the dude is saying or what I'm trying to say. And then when I'm speaking, it's like I'm speaking to myself. It doesn't make sense. We can't go past that. I'm not that type of dude. Like, we're not going past that because if I took my time to draft something for you, and then we have that moment where we sit down and we're having this conversation, it's point by point, right? Point by point. Point one, we break it down, we see how it goes, we correct each other if it's a debate, right? And if it's not a debate, then we can hear each other and see where we're coming from and where we're going. That's how I see life, and that's how it should be. So now, let me just jump right into it because I don't know what exactly been acting up, but whatever it is that's been acting up, I'm trying to repeat the same message. Again, I'm not going past page one if we're not fully on the same page, right? I'm gonna try it again. Again, I had a script throughout the script. The reason why I had a script because I've been trying to pass the same message over and over off my dome. So I said, you know what? Let me write it down, and so that way it will go faster. So I don't have to spend a whole hour, going all over the place because that's one of my thing, like I'm doing right now. Like I'm all over the place with mine. But my point is, it's about China. I'm here to speak about China, right? I don't want nobody texting me saying, listen, it's dangerous you speaking about China. It's dangerous you mentioning this and that, right? But I want us to be clear. I love China. So we start from there, right? And now, if anybody don't like China and they're afraid to speak about China because they might, there's consequences to that, that's on them. That's how you live your life, right? Go hide over there, speak about China behind a garbage bin, and then stay away from the consequences, right? That's on you. But I'm gonna repeat again. I love China, but at the same time, it's that the way I work, the way my mind works. If I got something on my mind, I will meditate on it, sleep on it, and if it's still there, I gotta say it, right? Then I gotta say we gotta address it. So once we address it, we'll come to an understanding. Period. Again, let me not drift away. Let me jump right back into it. This is what I'm trying to say here. A lot of people are complaining. Let me start from there. A lot of people are complaining that China is considering itself a developing country. So a lot of people are not happy with the fact that China is considering himself still developing. And the reason that they brought to the table was China cannot be a country that's still developing because, again, it has been sending people to the moon, somewhere in the space. So therefore, because China has the ability to do these type of things, and we're not going to list all the things that China is doing, but let's just stick to that one. And because China is doing that, so therefore China should not be considered a developing country. I don't know who decides, you know, about selecting countries and consider countries under developing, emerging markets, and all these emerging countries and all that, right? But if China decides to declare itself a developing country, that's what it's going to be, because we are not in the position to tell another person that you are ready for whatever challenge that's ahead. I mean, you can say it, but it's still up to that person to jump in the water. If that person didn't know how to swim, the person wants to practice and to get better, to do, to get on that Michael Phelps type of thing, right? Because that person is thinking to win about 9 gold medals. One is not enough, two is not enough, three is definitely not enough. That person wants 8 and more. That person is not ready. You see that person in the water all the time. So for us to go to that person and say, listen, man, I think you're ready. You ready for the league? You ready for the Olympics? You ready? Yeah, that's fine. That means to your eyes that person did enough for that person to go and compete with the best of them. But that person, for that person's own standard, that person's own goals, and whatever they're trying to accomplish, they may not feel ready. So until they are not ready, we cannot then tell them like, listen, we can't let you come in the gym because we feel like you're ready, right? But make no mistake, I'm not talking about somebody that's in the 5th grade and they want to stay there because it's fun there. They don't want to graduate high school, whatever. They don't want to graduate. The person that's in elementary don't want to graduate and go to high school. You know what I mean? And they just want to stay there because it was more fun in the 6th grade. We're not talking about that. We're just talk. I'm solely talking about the fact that China, it's you know, it doesn't feel that it's ready. It's still considered a developing country, but you do have some people who agrees with that. So let's hear again. I'm going to play it. I'm going to try to put the closed caption because I don't want to do this all the time. But I understand repetition, repetition, repetition until we get it right. That's what we're going to do. I'm not going past page one. My page one is the sauce. So until we connect with the sauce, then we can move on because I got a box of books. When I'm saying books, I mean I can speak as long as a book. But let's start with page one. If we connect with page one, then we can find out more. So homeboy been living in China 10 years, married to a Chinese woman. The second wife, the first one was from Hong Kong where I am right now, and then the first one was from Hong Kong where I am right now. Divorced after 3 months, somehow managed to go, over there in the mainland and got himself a wife because that's his objective, to get himself a Chinese woman, right? Why? Maybe to appease to the people, maybe to appear like, listen, I'm a part of the culture. But it's the same culture that you're trying to get into. That's the same culture that you're criticizing now. So I'm confused. I'm starting to ponder like what's really going on. But that's not my lane to jump into, because if I jump in there, I'll just make the lane wider. Like we can swim in that lane. But let's just stick with the page one again. Let's just stick with page one. Page one is about China. China is declaring itself a developing country, and other people say, nope, that motherfucker shouldn't be a developing country because it's doing too much. All right, but let's hear it from someone who may or disagree with me or whatnot. Let's go there. Okay, I'm trying to share this here. Share. What am I sharing? Let me see. What am I sharing? I'm sharing this right here. Again, I'm hoping that y'all can hear it. I'm hoping that everybody can hear it because I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong. I don't want to put blame on nobody. But we're going to listen to the whole of it because I had it timed. But we're going to listen to the whole of it, man. And feel free to go on Homeboy's page and listen to what he has to say. Maybe
I
you know
understand that
he,
it is
he
tough.
might
We've
connect with
reached
a
a
lot of
point
people.
now
So
where
yeah.
the majority of products in the world, especially smaller, cheaper little electronics, USB cables, things like that, are more or less exclusively made in China. But you can take a look because if the brand is an American brand or a French brand or a different kind of brand that is getting their product colonialism into Africa, all sorts of things. Look, the Communist Party of China has affected every single person, whether you think they have or not. And you're helping them. Most people are helping them, either through ignorance, which of course you can't blame people for not realizing it, or through kind of a willful dismissal of what's really going on. The problem is it's getting to a point now where it's very hard to ignore what the Communist Party of China
I'm
is
trying to
doing
find
to
this
the world
part right
and
here.
to our way
Is
of
it,
life.
Is it here?
So here are some solutions for you.
My man,
You as a
my man has solutions too.
and a lot of tricks, the foremost of
Okay,
which
all right.
being that they claim to be a developing country.
Okay, all
being
right.
that they claim to be a
All right, let me pause it right here and remind everybody what we're here for. So basically, again, I wanted to start with the first problem. The first problem is that some people are not agreeing with the fact that China is considered a developing country. As a matter of fact, not that they have a say, they just feel like we shouldn't consider China a developing country. So don't take it from me, and let's hear it.
developing country. Now, yeah, I mean, I've traveled all around China. Force out manufacturing from different countries, and the way they do this is through a lot of sleight of hand and a lot of tricks, the foremost of which being that they claim to be a developing country. Now, yeah, I mean, I've traveled all around China by motorcycle. I've been in the most rural parts of China, I've been in the flashiest parts of China, and I would classify China as a developing country as soon as you leave the cities. Hey, look, even in the cities themselves, you still see a lot of very backwards ways of dealing with certain things like garbage removal, things like the sewers, things like, well, just the way infrastructure is kind of dealt with. There's a lot of backwards stuff. But you hit the rural parts of China, and yes, it's a developing country. You still have a huge amount of the population that's very poor. However, what kind of a developing country? I mean, think about it. When you think of a developing country, what comes to mind? For me, it's usually something like a country in Africa or the Middle East where people are struggling to get water, where there isn't enough infrastructure built there, where, they need help, they need aid, they need as much help as they can get because they are still developing. That's a developing country. China is sending probes to the moon. They are sending rovers to Mars. They have a space program. It's about time we cancel this whole idea of China being a developing country, because they claim that they're a developing country, and this gives them massive tax breaks. This gives them massively preferential trade agreements with the rest.
Okay, I'm going to pause right there before I even attempt to continue. But just that one little statement that my man did, right? This is where I'm at with it. This is where I want to start. I want to start it from there. What I'm trying to say is that yes, you obviously you have people that think that China should not be considered a developing country. But again, in the intro, when I said who is to decide when you are ready, you know, you could be highly performing at something, but you don't feel that you're ready, so you will still stay in the gym until you feel that you're ready. And I gave you the example of the welfare line. I don't know what part of the country that what part of the world you live in, but in some countries we have this thing, the welfare. That we have a system that includes welfare. So unless you never seen someone driving a nice car, a BM, Mercedes, or one of them cars, and still on welfare, then I can understand that you may feel like, okay, China shouldn't be considered a developing country. But I've seen people on welfare and highly performing better than most, to the point where you'll be like, nah, that person doesn't deserve to get a check from the welfare office because that person doesn't seem like he needs any help, right? That could be how I may see it. I understand that. But what about that person? Maybe that person's goals is to fully develop. Maybe that BMW or that Mercedes that the person on welfare is driving doesn't mean the same thing to you that it means to him, right? You don't know how he got it. You don't know anything. You just see somebody with a nice car, and knowing that a person is on welfare, you're like, no, that person don't deserve it. That's one way to look at it. Uh, and trust me, like, I understand what it is to have less, and I also understand what it is to have more. And me and my father always have these type of debates all the time, but it's like, it's a father and son type of debates. But my point being here is that if people are not satisfied with China being considered a developing country, that's fine. That's how you see it. You see that, oh no, that person, China shouldn't be a developing country. But you are not in a position to decide. China will decide whenever it feels like, okay, we are ready. The fact that China is sending people to the moon, it's not enough. It's not a good enough reason for us to look at it like, nah. If they're sending people to the moon and this other country over here is not able to go to the moon, so we shouldn't help China. We shouldn't help it grow even faster. I don't know what type of religion most of you guys are practicing, but I'm pretty sure in every religion it tells you that you should give more to the person that's ahead, because that person is gonna he's gonna lead us somewhere, even he's gonna lead us further. You don't give everything to the person that's over there that can't bring us nowhere. We're never gonna go into advance. I'm 14 hours ahead of my people, right? Right now I'm 14 hours ahead of home. It's night here. It's daytime over there. Depending on if you're in the west or east, it's 14, between 14 and 12. Right? I know the time, but I can't ask somebody that's behind me the time. I'm ahead. Right? So I'm 14 hours ahead of you. I couldn't ask you for time. Right? The lion doesn't care what the gazelles are thinking about. Whenever the lion is ready, it's gonna get that meal. China doesn't go to a meeting and asking what the people want. China says what he wants, and then if you don't agree, that's fine. But if China sees that there's opportunities for both parties, China is going to jump at it. Why wouldn't China do that? Why wouldn't China be in that position where it controls its own destiny? Why do we have to say that, oh no, China, look at China, they're using trickery, and they're doing that, they're doing that, and they're doing this, and then we shouldn't allow them to do what they're doing. Again, let me tell you something. I said I love China, but now it's coming back to my mind why I love China. Because China is the underdog. If you know anything about gambling, most of the time, you're going to make more money if you bet on the underdog as opposed to being safe and just betting on whoever we think will win, right? I'm not saying to always go for the upset, but if you bet on the underdog, most of the time you make more money if the underdog wins. So now here's a situation where, similar to Muhammad Ali in the Zaire against Foreman, similar to Rocky after Apollo Creed died and going in there and winning. You understand what I'm saying? This is the triumphant moment. I like those type of triumph stories. Triumphant stories are stories of somebody that's been counted out, and they go back. They don't lose faith. They keep the faith. They do whatever they have to do, with or without you, but then come from behind and wins the race. This is what we are talking about right now, right? All right. But let me play a video from Brother Ben X, and again, I tried to play it the other day. I don't know if the sound is still doing the same thing. So again, because I'm on the first page, I'm trying to bring the sauce right off the bat, and then so that way we can open up the whole package, go in the kitchen, cook it up again, add more ingredients, take out some ingredients. At the end of the day, we're still gonna make a nice pizza. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, I'm not moving from page one. As long as y'all can't hear me, as long as the videos that I'm trying to play, you can't hear it. I added the closed captions because I don't want to do this all the time. But repetition is nothing to me. I love repetition. My point is, I love China, but I want you to understand why I love China. I could say I hate China as well, but thus far I'm biased towards saying I love China because historically it's impossible for black people to hate Chinese, right? If I'm wrong, again, somebody can correct me and I'll stand corrected. I'll change my narrative if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen in history nowhere where we had anything to do with the Chinese. Nowhere, right? So I can't stand here and yelling that I hate China. No, I don't. I love China. And I'm telling you why I love China, because China is the underdog. But let me go ahead and play the Brother Ben X interview that he had, the little conversation that he had with Kwame Brown. I just I like everything. I definitely like what he said towards the end, and I don't even think that was planned, but that's what I want to utilize right now in order to explain to you why China is playing chess, not checkers. Let me go here. I don't know if it's on Kwame Brown. Yeah, it's on Kwame Brown's page for sure. Let's see. Okay, let's go there. And before I even go there, where I'm trying to go at, in case you can't hear it, in case you can't hear it, right? All I'm trying to say is that Brother Ben X, somebody had asked him, or somebody had said, I thought that the Nation of Islam already have so much land, and Brother Ben X had replied that, listen, it's not because we have so much land that that we should stop from acquiring more, right? So, and again, my point is, the Nation of Islam is still developing. So you may look at it like, look at what they have already. They have schools, they got people in line, they got people following orders, people understanding how we have to come together like the Chinese. in order for us to move forward without having the need to ask or beg from other people. It's a race. It's a race. You are part of one race. I'm part of the black race. I don't know what part of the race I don't know what race you're part of, but I'm part of the black race. But I'm still wondering, is the race okay? So now we have the Chinese as one race, the Asians, right, as one race. Then you have the blacks, and who else is in the race? Is it just three people, or is it like more than that? And then if we want to stop China from growing, then who do we want to win? That would be my. Again, I'm drifting to the half a page already, but let me just play Brother Ben X right here, so then I can again mesh it with the idea that I'm trying to bring across, and hopefully y'all can hear it. This is my whole point.
who already had land, yes. But
hitting you up behind the scenes. So I definitely appreciate you coming, man. I want to, if you're gonna have me, I'll pay for my own travel. I'll come down there and see it firsthand. So
absolutely, man.
yeah, so I definitely appreciate your time, and I know the chat appreciated it. They've been waiting on conversations like this, so we need to do more of this instead of some of the drama. But they like the drama in the mornings. I think they kind of like the drama in the morning time.
I seen somebody say I thought the NOI already had land. Yes, but the Nation of Islam is not going to be the only group that's needed to save all of our people, all of us collectively.
Hitting you up behind the scenes, so
Acres, and we growing food.
hitting you up behind the scenes, so more of this instead of some of the drama. But they like the drama in the mornings. I think they kind of like the drama in the morning time.
I seen somebody say I thought the NOI already had land. Yes, but the Nation of Islam is not going to be the only group that's needed to save all of our people. The Nation of Islam is not going to be the only group that's needed to save all of our people. The Nation of Islam is not going to be the only group that's needed to save all of our people. Acres, and we growing food and things of that nature. That doesn't mean that, man.
Yeah, so I definitely appreciate your time, and I know the chat appreciated it. They've been waiting on conversations like this, so we need to do more of this instead of some of the drama. But they like the drama in the mornings. I think they kind of like the drama in the morning time.
I seen somebody say I thought the NOI already had land. Yes, but the Nation of Islam is not going to be the only group that's needed to save all of our people. All of us collectively are lost found members. So just because we have 1,000 acres and we growing food and things of that nature, that doesn't mean that we don't continue to get more, especially with social
hitting you up behind the scenes. So
acres and we growing food and things of that nature. The Nation of Islam is not going to be the only group that's needed to save all of our people. All of us collectively are lost found members. So just because we have 1,000 acres and we growing food and things of that nature, that doesn't mean that we don't continue to get more.
More of this instead of some of the drama. But they like the drama.
Spoken into, we now know how to.
More of this instead of some of the.
Nation of Islam is not going to be the only group that's needed to save all of our people. All of us collectively are lost found members. So just because we have 1,000 acres and we growing food and things of that nature, that doesn't mean that we don't continue to get more, especially with social spoken into. We now know how to utilize social media. A lot of older people may not know how, so we got
more of this instead of some of the drama. But they like the drama in the morning.
Nation of Islam is not going to be the only group that's needed to save all of our people. All of us collectively are lost found members. So just because we have 1,000 acres and we growing food and things of that nature, that doesn't mean that we don't continue to get more, especially acres and we growing food and things of that nature. That doesn't mean that we don't continue to get more. The Nation of Islam is not going to be the only group that's needed to save all of our people. All of us collectively are lost found members. So just because we have 1,000 acres and we growing food and things of that nature, that doesn't mean that we don't continue to get more, especially with social media. Young people, the Nation of Islam is not going to be the only group that's.
Okay, I'm going to pause that right there. So Brother Ben X, somebody in the comment section had said, oh, I thought that the NOI already had some land. Brother Ben X said, well, it's not because we have some land, right, a few acres, right? It's not because we have over 1,000 acres of land that's going to stop us from getting more, right? So we can't look at the Nation of Islam and say, well, they already have a few acres, they already have all these establishments and institutions to educate the masses. More black people should come in and, and help a building and spreading the message so that we can grow as a people, right? Instead, somebody will look at it and say, well, they have it. So why you asking again, or why you still spreading the same message? Why you considering yourself developing? Because the Nation of Islam is still developing, right? This is what Brother Ben X is saying to you. He's saying that the Nation of Islam is still developing. So a question like, oh, I thought that you guys already had all these things, but do we have it so that we can cater to the whole of the black community? When I say the black community, it doesn't just stop like when we say African American, we don't just say like, okay, the people within the United States. The black people within the United States are not even the most populated black people in the world, right? The number one place where you see most black people is not Nigeria. It's in Africa, because that's where, you know what I'm saying, that's the cradle right there. That's the cradle. So then the second place where you see most black people, it's in Brazil, South America, Afro Americans, right? So now we add more into the pile. Let's go to Venezuela. Let's go over there in Cuba. Let's go to Haiti. Let's go. Then we start to understand that there's more of us, but the Nation of Islam alone cannot cater to all of us. So therefore, the Nation of Islam is still developing. Let me get back to China. And I hope just this one explanation that Brother Benex came, like the answer that Brother Benex came with, and the explanation that I'm trying to utilize to make you understand that I don't understand when somebody's complaining that China is considered a developing country when China is not ready. Because you see China going to the moon, you're thinking that China must be ready, but China is not ready. China is to decide when China is ready. That's the number one thing. I hope that that's clear. We could always debate on that. I won't sleep. Anyone that wants to debate, I'm not a debater. I don't like debating, but I wanna start a conversation for us to try to understand where we stand, and also understanding that we should not entertain the idea as black men, black people. We should not entertain the idea that China is against us per se. We should not entertain that. We should not entertain that. Again, definitely we should not entertain that China is against. No, China has its own goals, right? I don't even want to put it in a way that, oh, black people, China is against black people. No, I'm just saying that as a black man, you should not entertain the idea of someone saying that, oh no, we shouldn't consider China a developing country because of A, B, C, D. No, I'm here to tell you D, E, F. That yes, China should decide when it's developing. Why? Because we counted China out already. China was counted out already. Now, before I jump into the next and the last point that I have, really and truly concerning this whole thing right here, we gotta go in the dictionary. I'm not even going to play Malcolm X's video because it's low, even when I play it without sharing it. So I know it's just going to be something where you see images of Malcolm X. I'll share the images of Malcolm X, but I'm going to tell you what Malcolm X said. Malcolm X said, as I'm sharing, Malcolm X said that there used to be a word in the dictionary, Chinaman's chance, but that word is outdated now. And Malcolm X spoke like this in 1967. We are in 2021, my friend. Malcolm X said back in 1967, is it 1967? Sorry, 1960 something. Because I understand that it may have passed before that. Um, so during that time, Malcolm X has pointed out that there's a word in the dictionary, Chinaman's chance, that means. Let me just go with it. Let me just go with it. Chinaman. Okay, there you go. Chinaman's chance is an American idiom first attested in 1903, meaning little or no chance at all, possibly as a reference to historical Asian racism in the United States. I'm not going to read it again, but you can definitely type it in your Google, Chinaman's chance, and read the historical aspect of it. 1903, they coined this word or this phrase, Chinaman's chance, meaning that the Chinese, they're not even qualified for the race. That's what this means. You already counted a people out. Like those people, we're not worried about them. If we over here, dealing with the blacks, like dealing with these dudes that they could actually go toe to toe against us, and you coming along looking like you don't even have a chance. That's how they looked at it back then. I'm assuming it has to be that way. You looked at the Chinese people like, listen, man, we over here fighting lions. You over here coming jumping up and down like a gazelle. You don't have a chance. Therefore, here's how we describing you. You have a Chinaman's chance. I mean, you have no chance at all. Check, check. So now, after you describe a people like that, and how many years later? Okay, when Malcolm X said that speech, or that when he had that conversation, he actually said that at that time that word was no longer. It was actually outdated at that time. At the moment when Malcolm X said it, because he was trying to bring it about to explain to you that they used to have that word or that phrase to describe the Chinese man up until the Chinese united, just like the Nation of Islam are doing, just like the brother Ban X and them are doing, unifying, moving in unison, and things of that nature. Where wherever you go, you are respected. Notice wherever you see somebody with a bow tie and it's 55 degrees outside, right away you're thinking about Brother Mozan from The Wire. You're thinking about the Nation of Islam, because that's how this is what it is. So once the Chinese people did that, unified, formulated a plan, strategized, and moved according to that plan, the Chinese was respected everywhere in the world, and that phrase became outdated. So outdated that if I go around here, China, every time I have a conversation with my Chinese peers, and every time I mention that, half of them, never mind half of them, all of them will say, "Oh, I didn't even know about that word." Wow, right? Why is that? So whenever we're ready to bring light to a situation, we gotta bring the light, like the flashlight. You turn on the flashlight, and now you start to see clear. But it's only up to the person looking in the room to see the things that they want to see, or the things that's there in front of them, but paying attention to the things that they want to pay attention to. So, without said, I mean, yeah, without saying that, I feel like it's impossible historically for a black man to hate China and Chinese, because I never seen a public figure, an important public figure, somebody that we can consider a leader, and then they can speak for the black community as a whole, saying anything bad about China. As a matter of fact, the opposite would be true, that most of our leaders, whenever they spoke of China, they actually praise some of the methods or strategies or mechanism that the Chinese have used in the past in order to surprise and surpass everybody. Again, but If now we're in a situation where we're thinking, okay, now it doesn't matter, all that don't matter, we just have to stop the Chinese, right? So now we jump into a race. So that means there's racism involved. And then, as Dr. Claude Anderson explained what racism is, it's a race of people, racists, going to the finish line. So you the racist number one, two, three, or however many races they're gonna have in line there to get to the finish line. So now China is ahead. But remember, China is the racist that everybody counted out. Is the one, is the racer. Let me use the word racist because I don't want to be censored, because the word China and racist might get confusing for some people. So you have a lot of racers, and then all those racers are racing to get to the finish line, and China is one of them. Now China is ahead, but everybody, all the racers, are like, nah, we gotta slow down, China. We don't know why, but China is the racer that you didn't think you will qualify for the race. Like, you counted China out. That's the Michael Jordan story where, oh, he didn't make it. He got cut in high school, but yet now, what I'm saying, everybody's rocking Jordans. Those are the type of triumphant story I'm telling you about. This is exactly what I'm talking about here, right? You counted me out. You counted China out. We gotta start the conversation right there. Was China counted out? Yes or no? This is my question to the public. Was China counted out in 1903? Maybe earlier, but in 1903, officially, that was there in the dictionary. You out. You not qualified. You China man's chance. Right? You China man. So the chance and China man don't go together. Like, you don't have a chance, right? 1903, they counted China out. Now we're in 2021 and complaining why China is ahead. This is what's going on. Fact. If anybody has any light to bring to my attention so that I can correct myself, I want to. I want to be corrected. I want to change my views, because if most of my people are hating on China, if most of my people was hating on China, and everybody's telling me that, nah, China is bad, okay, but what about these things here? What about the fact that China was out? They counted China out, and then all of a sudden we're in the race where China is winning, but it's the same race. It's not like you counted China out and then you're a sprinter, you're sprinting, and then China went and swim. And then over there China is doing damage in the water. So of course you may go over there and say, listen man, you polluting the water here. And then so cause more trouble because China is over there polluting the water. But no, this is a race where you're racing. It's a 100-meter dash. You are racing, and China is involved in the same race that you counted China out. So now China is qualified there, but not only qualified, but is annihilating competition. Like I'm talking about, is looking back and eating a pizza, and people are still not showing up. This is what's going on. But yet, and then the rest of the racers are like, no, we gotta slow down, China. We gotta slow down, China. China belongs in the back over there. We don't even know how China got qualified, but hey, we gotta try to stop China. But here's the solution that these same people are bringing to the table in order to stop China. Let me play it. My battery is about to die. I don't have this much time to. Again, I love repetition because that's how we're going to learn. But at the same time, it's like, okay, this old repetition thing for me, I can't move on to the second page because, like I said, I got more pages. But I want my people, I want everybody to understand where I'm coming from. Like, okay, here's this page. Let's correct page 1, because if we're able to correct page 1, then we're able to see all this other information that I got. That's the only way. We have to disagree or agree with the first page first. So now everybody, okay, first they counted China out, then they get into a race that where China is also involved, but China is ahead of everybody. Now we want to slow down China. But here's the solution that these same people have for China. How are you going to stop China from growing? Let me go back and play that. Because if these people got solutions like that, where am I? I'm right here. If these people got solutions to stop China, all right, let's see how they're doing it. Let me go back. And again, feel free to go on my man's page, and take him in. A lot of time he got a lot of info. This is a man that's been living 10 years in China, so
Agreements with the rest of the world in the WTO.
this is a man that's been living in China for over 10 years, so he feels qualified. He's married to a Chinese woman, so he feels definitely involved with the culture. And then, in that same sentence, bringing solutions how to stop China from growing. But here's the solution. Here's a solution.
The government also subsidizes, and they cheat the system. So that's why it's cheaper. And I've said this. Well, there's a couple of things. And I'm going to start with the one that probably every single person can do. Every one of you can do this. And that is when you're shopping on Amazon, to make the right choices. You see, Amazon, like any other big corporation, it's all about their bottom line. How much money can they make? How much profit can they make? So they tend to push to the top the cheapest, easiest to manufacture products. And a lot of the Amazon choice products that pop up there, or the spotlight promoted ones, etc., are usually some kind of cheap Chinese product. But because we see the Amazon logo on there, or say it's a Prime, product or whatever, we tend to think it's probably pretty good and just buy it anyway. Well, that's not always the best thing to do. And also remember, Chinese sellers are very good at artificially boosting their products. They have recently closed how many fake accounts? They've got bot farms that go out there and give fake reviews, boost things to the top, take other products which are the competition of that product and downvote them and give them fake bad reviews. It's a very unscrupulous kind of a situation. Most Chinese sellers are doing something dodgy in one way or the other. And this is well documented. There have been many crackdowns. It's something you can look at. But Amazon is very clever, and they're very good at hiding where these products are manufactured or where the sellers come from. So when you're buying something on Amazon, it just looks like every other product that you're looking for. You wouldn't be able to tell if it's American made or made in Singapore or made in Taiwan or made in China or whatever. You wouldn't know. It's just, there it is. It's got the product name, might say in the description somewhere, but it's just very difficult to tell. There's a browser plugin which I'll introduce you and show you how to work near the end of the video, which can help you figure out if you're buying from China or not. I understand that it is tough. We've reached a point now where the majority of products in the world, especially smaller, cheaper little electronics, USB cables, things like that, are more or less exclusively made in China. But you can take a look, because if the brand is an American brand or a French brand or a different kind of brand that is getting their product manufactured in China, it's still the better of two evils. Exclusively made in China. But you can take a look, because if the brand is an American brand or a French brand or a different kind of brand that is getting their product manufactured in China, it's still the better of that is getting their product manufactured in China, it's still the better of two evils.
Okay, I'm just going to end this whole live, and hopefully we all understood, like, I'm saying, the intro. I'm still working on the outro, but this is the introduction of where I'm going with this, because of course we can spend the whole day and talk about any and everything, and there's a lot of things that really and truly we can speak on, right? Because the go along, get along gang, it's real. It's even realer over here than, I don't know how it is in the United States, but it's really real over here, where you're having conversation with somebody and somebody will just walk away because you mentioned 2-3 words. Really and truly, like it's really like that. It's like you have to imagine, maybe like in the novels, when you have like the spy movies and spy stories, where you don't know who you're talking to and who's watching and what's over here, what's over there. It's just like that. So a lot of people definitely are going along, not to get along, but they're going along in order not to to lose their position, because as a foreigner, you know, you coming abroad, you coming away, you away from home, you're over here, and not only are you dealing with the position that you got, but you also dealing with the environment. So, and it's not your home, so it's very difficult. So, but I want everybody to pay attention because I just wanted to set the first page. So once we understand we're on the same page in the first page, you understand where I'm coming from when I'm saying that I love China, and that we also observe that there's people that are not happy that China is declaring itself as a developing country. We already spoke on it, that China could decide, you know, to declare itself whatever he wants to declare itself whenever China is ready. But now we put that aside, and then we just decided, okay, let's just stop China anyway. But here's the solution that my man brought to the table. The solution that my man brought to the table, I don't know if y'all can hear it. That's the thing. So that's the reason why I'm regurgitating the same thing that I heard, so that it's clear. Again, I'm gonna play it again one more time. But what I'm trying to say is that the solution on the table is basically to stop buying things from China. But at the same time, in that same sentence, the suggestion is to buy things from companies who are getting this stuff manufactured in China. So therefore, instead of giving China money directly, give it to a third person that's going to give it to China. I don't see what kind of solution that could be, because it's everyone that has access to China, right? So that idea even comes to add more barriers to a person that's trying to be an entrepreneur. So if I'm trying to be an entrepreneur and trying to start something, start a brand or start branding stuff and start a printing stuff, because obviously the printer was invented in China. So I don't know how you're gonna stop printing stuff. They're the inventors of printers, right? Like you invent something, like you give me credit for what I invented, right? Like you didn't come up with the printer, right? Like China did, right? Like China came up with the printer, start printing stuff, but now you learn how to print, and all of a sudden now we gotta stop China. That doesn't make any sense. But if you're gonna do it like that, let's just go down the rabbit hole. Okay, stop and buying things from China, but buy it from somebody that's like a company that's getting this stuff made in China. So that even again, that brings a barrier between the entrepreneur and the entrepreneur's ideas to directly there to cut off the middleman. Because if I'm an entrepreneur, I'm trying to start anything that I'm trying to start. My first mission is to cut off the middleman. I don't want no middleman. Let me go directly to the source. Let me network and find a way to get to the source. Let me get to the connect. China is the connect. China is the connect, and other places are the connect. There's connects in the USA is the connect. In Canada, most of our stuff we get it from the US. Like we're the number one consumers of the United States. That's just how it is. We're next door to each other. You know, we go back and forth without a passport, without ID, go through a Indian reserve, and we over there. Come back again like nothing ever happened. But again, let's get back to page number one. Page number one, it's about China. It's not about going back and forth from Canada to the United States through the Native Americans reserves. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about China, that we must, people are saying that they must stop China, and here's the solution that they brought to the table. The solution is to stop China from growing through economic means by stopping buying things from China. And I told everybody, go around your house, go in your room, go in the bedroom, go everywhere, and start piling up the things that you think is made in China and throw them out. And then we gotta point back the finger to the person that suggested it and say, listen, you told us to not buy Chinese, to not buy China product. So how many China product do you have around? Have you thrown out any lately? Somebody in the comment section that suggested that you should throw out your wife because she's Chinese, but we are not going to go there because again, we're trying to stay with the first page of understanding why I love China. But if you love a people, you love a set, you jump into the culture, you're married into a Chinese woman, and you turn around and say, nah, these people are messed up. This situation are messed up. They too. But basically, you are not saying that this situation is messed up. There, you are. What you are saying is, oh, they're too advanced now. They're too advanced now. Let's stop them. But if that idea even makes sense to all of us, that we must stop China. Okay, why are we stopping China? Again, I still don't have the answer for that. Why are we trying to stop China? And second of all, if it's a race, who do we want? Which racer who's racing in this race that we want to see as number one? If not Chinese, right? This is where I stand. I still don't understand those. But if I just follow this idea of, oh, let's not allow China to be a developing country because he's sending people to the moon. That's the number one. And number two is that, oh, look, economically China is ahead, so let's slow down China. And here's a solution: stop buying things from China. But oh no, but buy it from me because I'm getting mine done in China. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we saying here? Is this really what we are saying here? Is this the gossip about gossip that we're doing? Right? Are we just gossiping about gossiping and adding China in the equation? Is this what we're doing? If that's what we're doing, let me know. If that's what we're doing, I'm fine with it. But we must know what we're saying because now we may confuse people. Because when I look in the dictionary, I see that back in 1903, we already counted China out. We already bullied China out of the race. Say you're not even involved in this. What we're doing here, you can't even come to warm up with us. That's what we did with China, right? So now China later on, I don't know if the race is finished, but goddamn, you can see the finish line. And now we're not happy that China got there because we counted China out. But you didn't understand that a person that you know how it goes. The cornerstone, the you know what I'm saying, the rejected stone is not the cornerstone. Sort of like the master builder when I make my way home. That's what gangster said. You reject the stone, but then later on you realize, oh, that's the piece that I needed to build this nice mansion. That's what we did with China. We counted China out. We're like, man, you're not a part of the race. We went as far as going in the dictionary and putting a phrase saying China man's chance. No chance at all. That's where we stand with China. But then you blink a little bit and you see China running past you, annihilating you. You're still gasping for air. And then no, we gotta slow China out. We gotta slow China. And what's the solution? No, let's not buy anything from China. As if only in China you see Chinese people. As if you haven't seen all these Chinatowns popping up in your neighborhood or in your area or wherever you live. And some of these Chinatowns now, they don't even look like those messed up temples with Chinese writings. They switch up the game. Again, I'm saying China is playing chess and not checkers. The only way for you to understand China, I understand, and the person that brought this suggestion of stop buying from China has lived in China longer than I did, right? And then something must have had happened where there's a change of mind. I get that. I'm not there. I'm not there where my mind is changed about China. But I'm pretty sure for the little time that I've been in China, I've experienced the same things that my man has experienced. So I don't understand where this idea of, oh, let's stop China now after you married to a Chinese woman. Let's stop getting things from China after you got a wife from China. So what you gonna do? You gonna throw her out? You gonna say, listen, baby, it's not working out. Listen, I can't be buying things from China no more. So you gotta go. You gotta pack up your stuff. You gotta go. You're Chinese made. You were made in China. Is this where we going with this? Is this feasible? Is this thing even practicable? I love that word, practicable. Is this idea, this solution that we have in order to stop China from growing by not buying Chinese stuff? Is it even practicable? Don't you like chopsticks sometimes every now and then? That looks cool in the kitchen. Where you getting it from? Dollar store. Where you think all the dollar store stuff are coming from? From your neighborhood? From where? Where in the world you gonna see people making chopsticks for that cheap and sell it for that cheap and ship it to you for that cheap? And then some people are looking at it like, oh no, they got too much advantage of sending things for cheap. Listen, again, China, we counted China out. Listen, I'm gonna repeat this over and over and over. Like really, I'm good at repetition. Like I love repetition. And repetition makes everything perfect. But I just want to make sure that we got the first page correct. It's been an hour. I thought I was gonna do this in half hour, but again, as I was explaining earlier, I'm the type of person that drift from one point to a next, but it all makes sense if you bring it all together. So I'm going to stop right now, and hopefully we got this straight. I love China. The reason why I love China, because I'm a black man, and historically it's impossible for a black man to hate Chinese or China. And I'm not talking about China Mac or Jin, those rappers over there. Like them dudes, they're on a different level. Them dudes, I'm not saying different level like that. I'm saying like we're not talking about Jin or China Mac like that. We're talking about Chinese as a whole, including China Mac and Jin. But what I'm trying to say is that black people cannot hate China. And China, whatever plan they got going for themselves, we must remember that China was the underdog. We can start it as far as 1903. I don't know what happened before that. I haven't done any research before that. If anybody did research before 1903, then hey, I'm here. I'll stand corrected. But as far as I'm concerned, when I open the dictionary, I see that 1903 there's a word saying, China, you out. We don't even like you like that. You can't even do nothing that, to surpass or surprise us right now. But hold and behold, oh, China, oh, you're running too fast. Slow down now. This is what's going on. And how you gonna slow? Again, I'm gonna repeat, like I'm on repeat. How you trying to slow China? By stop. Somebody said they want to stop buying things from China. This is how we're going to stop China. As if there's no companies in Canada that Chinese people are behind that. Why can't they then, that company, then buy things from China and sell it to you as another company? Like, what are we doing? What are we saying? Like, that doesn't even make any sense to my ears. Like, what are we saying? Don't buy things from China. Where are we gonna buy it from? Or are we supposed to buy things from all over the world? Now, if the suggestion is that, like Jay-Z in that track with Pharrell saying, for every Gucci buy two Fubus. Now, if you were to say, like, listen, and if we came to a consortium where we're like, okay, we gotta slow down somebody, and then let's not buy from that person, the solution might be for every items that you buy from that person, from that crowd, from that community, from that country, buy two to support your own. That makes sense, because if it's a race, the race is like this. It's like my race. I'm part of the black race, and you got a part of all the other colors. It's a Crayola type of race, right? So if the green people, they're ahead of the game, and we're like, nah, we gotta slow them down. Okay, so that means I'm worried about my color, the black race. It's a race of all the colors, right? So I'm worried about the black race. So the solution for me might be like, if my race wanted to slow down anybody, my solution might be, okay, for every time I go and spend over there because I have no choice really, because we didn't fully develop to get all these things that would prevent us from buying outside, turning the money around like Dr. Claude said, right? This is nothing to me. Like, come on, man. This is like I'm not trying to jump into past the first page. I'm still on the first page. So my man saying that economically we must stop China, and then by doing so, I mean how to do so is by stopping China, by stopping ourselves from buying from China. Let's not buy from China, but let's buy from any random companies that's on Amazon, but they get this stuff made in China, and then they have this label saying that, oh yeah, it's an American company, as if that same American company cannot be a Chinese company. Like, what are we saying here? Again, what are we saying here? All I have to say to for this type of solution, and for this type of conversation where somebody's there and actually believing that China is a threat, China is the problem. But when we look in the dictionary, we see that no, China is not the problem. The people that wrote that thing, China Man's Chance, are the problem. On that note, 1 hour is sufficient for me, man, and I really thought I could do this in 30 minutes. But again, to get all my point across is it's like that, what I'm saying? Like, I gotta get my stutter on. Like, I'll be stuttering, I'll be thinking at the same time as I'm stuttering. So that's how it is with me. So, but when you take time to analyze, you realize that the revolution should have been televised. So, because if it was televised, then we wouldn't have to look too far. We would know that, listen, oh, that's what it was. Oh, I see it. Homeboy's bugging. I love China too. That's what you say. You say, listen, man, I love China, man. On that note, Hong Kong, China, the beautiful. I'm here, man. One.